There's a story you have in this book. It's called The Four Chaplains.
Oh.
And The Four Chaplains is one. Now, I had not heard this story. It's apparently a pretty well-known story, but you brought it. It's in the book here. And I've done a little research even beyond it here. But we cannot go through this book and not share the story.
Please read it, because it is one of the most powerful things I've ever heard. And so many things like this took place in World War II, but this really...
it's on page 177 of the book. And you want me to just read it?
Yeah.
And for our listening audience at home,
that'd be great.
Buckle up. Yeah. On February 3rd, 1943 at 12:55 a.m., the Dorchester, a luxury liner repurposed as an Army transport ship, found itself in the crosshairs of a German submarine's periscope. Of the 3 torpedoes immediately fired at them, one was a direct hit, knocking out power and radio capabilities and sending the ship's 902 passengers into utter darkness and chaos. 4 chaplains, Lieutenant George L. Fox, who was a Methodist, Lieutenant Alexander D. Good, who was Jewish, Lieutenant John P. Washington, who was Roman Catholic, and Lieutenant Clark V. Pavlig, Dutch Reformed, did their best to bring a sense of calm to the troops as the ship steadily took in water, sinking some 27 minutes later. And these were icy waters 150 miles off the coast of Greenland, and despite Captain Hans Danielson's warning of the waters being patrolled by German U-boats and that it would be wise for them to sleep fully dressed with their life jackets on, many of them had not heeded his words. In the midst of the confusion, these 4 relatively new chaplains faced the emergency with uncommon bravery. They helped the wounded, offered prayers, and they handed out life jackets. When the jackets ran out, eyewitnesses said that the 4 chaplains took off their own jackets and handed them to the next 4 men in line. Those who had made it into the lifeboats continued to watch as these 4 chaplains stood arm in arm, and they sang hymns and spoke prayers over the troops in different languages. There were Catholic prayers in Latin, Jewish prayers in Hebrew, English prayers heard as the 4 chaplains bravely went down with the ship. Of the 902 on board, only 230 would eventually be rescued, and the rest, 672, including the 4 chaplains, would perish in the icy waters. John 15:13 says, "Greater love hath no man than this, that he lay down his life for his friends." It's incredible. And these 4 men of valor, I found this quote. I went to the 4 Chaplains website because it's a known story. And I was reading about Carl Sandburg, and he said this about the 4 Chaplains. He said, "Valor is a gift. Those having the gift never know for sure whether they have it until the test comes." And my goodness, it was something. That story, when you first read it, you kind of put the book down.
Yeah. You
have to take a walk.
Yeah.
Because it's just powerful. In fact, even on that website, there was another story that was shared in there that one of the soldiers, or one of the men on the ship, didn't have his gloves, and his hands were freezing, and he knew he had to be prepared. And one of the chaplains was trying to stop him from going back to his cabin to get his gloves. And he said, "I need my gloves. I need my gloves." And the chaplain said to him, "I have an extra pair. Take mine." And he gave him it, and then the man said he realized later he was never intending to leave the ship. The chaplain gave him his gloves.
He knew already that what he was going to do.
That they were going to stay. And so it's stories like this. These are the things we need more books like this. Where these stories can be read and passed down and remembered. In this age of culture that's all about pursuing ourselves, and you read a scripture, "Greater love have no one than this, that you lay down your life for someone else." That's such a foreign concept these days, and yet this story really brings that out.
And I love it, too, where they were all different. You know, the Methodists and the Roman Catholic and the Jewish and the Dutch Reform. And they're praying in their language.
Mm-hmm.
Can you imagine that scene?
No. And in the comfort of where we sit right now, I don't want to. You know, and maybe that should tell you all you need to know about that story right there. Yeah, I was reading on the Four Chaplains website where it said, and they didn't ask questions about denominational backgrounds before they were praying or trying to calm or be.
They just were there
to be God's voice of peace in this moment. And you know, that you're right. It's such a powerful thing. You were the one who said you need to read about the Four Chaplains, Pastor Josh.
You.
And I did. And I was like, Martha was right.
Oh man, it sticks with you once you know about it. It's and to be. Can you imagine being the ones that got their life jacket?
Mm-hmm.
Whoa.
Yeah, you know, here we are. Yeah, 4th of July. It makes me, what my mind goes to. I often think in movies way too much. Yeah. It made me just now go to Saving Private Ryan. Yeah. Remember at the end when the guy's going, "Earn this." Yeah. Earn this. And then the character of Matt Damon, when he's a grandfather, he's saying to his wife, "Tell me I'm a good man. Yeah. Tell me I'm a good man." Yeah. That's what. Oh, the ones who got those life jackets. Yeah. 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 It's just not only them, although that would be where I would go with the story is those four, but we all, every one of us, owe a debt of gratitude to them and the sacrifice.
Earn it. We all have to earn it, you know.
And that we lose that